Live.
Hi everyone. Hi, welcome to CS Fireside Chat.
So, of course, it is important to look at the global picture of whether we are in a recession or not. But I believe, everything has a cycle, and I don't have a crystal ball of where the market will be going in the next like 6 months. But you can, either way, if you're an educated investor, you can make money either on a bear market or a bull market. You just need to manage your risk carefully, but at the same time, this is a very exciting time because with the Web3 market, I believe this is like the MySpace ICQ stage. And then with the launch and release of ChatGPT from OpenAI, AI generated art, you can write a smart contract without knowing a line of code. This
Yep.
is really exciting times, and the important thing is we need to educate institutional investors and investors, normal investors, on the risk of the crypto market. A lot of people are in here to make quick money. That's where you get burned. As I said, I don't have a crystal ball
Yeah.
of where the Bitcoin will be going in the next 6 months or in a year or so, but I still believe in the value of cryptocurrency. I invested in Bitcoin when it was 100 Bitcoin to buy a pizza. Now
Wow.
it's worth more than 28,000 US dollars. I
Yep.
wish I held on a little bit longer.
Yeah. So you know what? 4 weeks ago, the narrative is, you know what? We hate crypto. Crypto is the has no use case today, right? And 2 weeks thereafter, there's a narrative change. I think what has happened is obviously the liquidity issue that we have all seen across, the U.S. and even in the U.K. today, particularly
Mm.
with Credit Suisse. It is proving the point that some folks has been very laser focused on some areas and not in all areas. I think we have been very much pivoted on focusing too much on the use case and not use case of crypto and blockchain, but we forget about the rising interest rates. In a span of 1 year for 2022, the interest rates rose 19 times, the highest in since his history in the United States. That created a lot of big problems. Well, two things. One, if we're going to see a 0% later on today coming from the Fed, we might see a potential rally on cyclicals, Nasdaq,
Mm.
for example, and even Bitcoin. If we see a 25 bips today, we might see a priced in mindset from the market. Therefore, we might see a potential status quo in the price today. So what we're looking for is a catalyst. And I think that catalyst is if the narrative continues on the bank run, liquidity issues. Everyone, the Bank of Canada, the Bank of Japan right now created a liquidity pool that will support the entire banking system across the world. If that narrative continues, I think we're going to see ourselves 40,000 very soon, if not 50.
With the banking collapses, I think everybody is looking into regulating, which could impact has a negative impact on the crypto market if that happens, because the cost, KYC and things like that, on cashing out on various platform, and how would you implement and even enforce it? So it's a very complicated market, but the trend is that I think the market will be becoming more heavily regulated. However, I think with the banking crisis, it will definitely have some sort of impact and more scrutiny into the cryptocurrency.
I'm just reflecting and seeing, what, all of these are happening, and I'm happy because it's bringing the trust back to Bitcoin. Everything that have happened today is good for me. And one thing I can tell you in my purview is that this need for regulation has been long time overdue. There's so many people in the kitchen today trying to regulate so many things, and it's impacting the very basic of control, affecting the banks. And last but not the least, whatever have happened today, for the past couple of months rather, I think it only made us realize that the people who truly believe what Web3 is, what NFT is, what blockchain is, are still in the system today. And these are the same people who are building, who are working together, talking about what's the use case. And I think those shilling before, people who are talking about, oh, you need to buy this coin, I think they're all gone. Because
Mm.
people who are in the space right now are the true believers of the coin up until Bitcoin was like $15,000. However, I think one metric that I really like that was introduced most recently, although it's not perfect, is the proof of reserve. Proof of reserve shows to you your assets but not your liabilities, right? But at least you have a metric there that tells me, you know what? If something happens, I can tell you I'm liquid today, right? So I think for the most part, we need market makers, we need institutions to play. They're the whales, they're the bigger whales, they're the ones who are into the picture for the most part. But we need clarity on, are they over leveraging? Are they overexposing? How are they doing their leverages, right? But I think at this point, we just need to establish first the fundamentals or the basics of, you know what, number one, we just need to see how are you leveraging. So we could do a comparison of what's in the field today, right? Because I don't think we know from a transparency perspective what these CEX are doing from a leverage perspective. And I think, as I've said, these things that have happened today, I see it with a silver lining. It looks like it's allowing us to see what's needed in our space to become, 100,000 worth Bitcoin in the future. Going back to market makers, we all need them, but we need to see transparency. After all, we are decentralized.
Some sort of regulation is good, but then who should regulate? I mean, just look at the global geopolitical problem right now between China and US. China will say one thing, Russia will say one thing, America will say one thing. Then who do we follow? And if you're a politically exposed person, you won't be able to open a bank account anywhere in the world. Then that defeats the purpose of DeFi. What is DeFi? So what I'm proposing, and I saw there are some discussion on the market is have a DeFi court, then have jury. In Hong Kong or in the UK, you have a jury who judge. It's not a rule of man. You have a jury who judge. Okay, is this a fraudulent transaction? If it is, we'll reverse the transaction. We'll find some people who have experience who can be guardian or custodian of the Web3 space and dispute things such as token theft and an issue like that. So that would be a better way to deal with instead of regulating market. And for example, if Coinstore have to get a license in Singapore, and then what? Do you have to get a license in 190 United Nations countries just to operate? It's a never-ending story. And the loser will not be Coinstore. It will be me and you, the everyday Joe who's trading in the market, because there will be higher red tape, there will be higher costs, and of course, it will cause problem for everybody. You have to do KYC. After you've done KYC, then there are a lot of compliances, such as AML, anti-money laundering. And in terms of institutional adoption, that will build trust. But again, even bank go bust. You know what? Investors just need to don't put all your egg in one basket and diversify your risk and be educated. And most importantly, don't bet more than you can bet.
I think it presents enormous opportunity for everyone if they realize the value of a decentralized exchange, particularly on the tokenomics of any project. I think what I saw over the past year and even on the 2021 bull run is there's a lot of projects that created very bad optics to DeFi. I've seen a lot of projects even here in the Philippines that that created tokens that were very inflationary, quote unquote Ponzi scheme, high rewards just for them to stake their coins. I'll be very honest, at least on the purview that I have today, I have around 300,000 folks within my community. And I see a lot of people are still putting their stakes high on some of the new projects on DeFi. And there's still a lot of people who are also looking for a way to also diversify and obviously put aside their assets. Are they going to be putting it in one platform, CEX alone? Or are we going to be diversifying it? I hope we kind of get out of this cycle, right? Because we wanted to educate, but people who are inside are unfortunately adding to the burden of creating bad optics to what blockchain use case is.
Country around the world will be regulating cryptocurrency, and how would it impact the market, and how would it impact the overall trend and growth of the cryptocurrency? I think it will continue to grow. The early adapter will continue to stay, and the market will continue to dominate, and developers are continuing to build good products and services to serve the community, from gaming to DeFi to a lot of opportunities within the Web3 space. I think the most important message here is, just get yourself educated and have awareness of the project and benefit and risk with whether cryptocurrency on or any project that you're investing in?
I think the only thing that's kind of missing in the puzzle right now is that people who are mining Bitcoin is obviously still not, getting the profit that they would love to, simply because, the price of the coin is still very low today. So I honestly believe, I'm a hodler of Bitcoin and I teach the value of Bitcoin. It's fully auditable, it's transparent, it's open source. I think it's just solving what the problems right now of the traditional companies are. And if you look into the on-chain analytics, for the past 6 months, people are not moving their Bitcoin today. And if you are a new user of Bitcoin and you bought it on January 2023, you already have earned almost 50% up of your capital. So, I think it will continue to be dominant coin at this point. I see some value on Ethereum, obviously with the Shanghai hard fork coming in this April 12th, particularly on the reduction of the gas fees. But I think Bitcoin is going to be out there as a dominant coin.
And now, instead of issuing tickets, we put the ticketing on chain, on token. So, we're already taking step for, customers don't know that they're already, they're already immersing themselves into the Web3 space. And now you go to the mall, there will be a loyalty card, the supermarket, another loyalty card at the mall. Now we are creating a loyalty card for our existing customers and new customers as a form of NFT. So, they won't have 10 million different cards, loyalty cards, and then they're able to earn rewards. And through the rewards, so, we're trying to make use of existing asset in the real world and trying to give value to them on the virtual world through holding NFT, Again, we are at the ICQ and MySpace age of the Web2 equivalent of Web3. So, we still have a very long way to go. Eventually, I think there will be more real use cases. This is the future of Web3 now, especially with the advent of ChatGPT. People with no coding experience, they can suddenly write a smart contract and things like that. I think this is a turning point for the Web3 industry. Is the second thing is, once the institutional investors and the big corporations start using NFTs, token in their everyday business. I mean, think of the whole Web3 space as a startup. How do you go to market? For the early adopter, they will continue to stay and continue to develop the market. But to expand the market, how can we, as a community, go out there and have various products so that you can reach out to more people, make it more easier? So, for example, to register a crypto wallet is as easy as registering a email address on Google.
So for the Philippines alone, the last time I checked, only 6% have crypto. I think we need to do these types of conversations. Thank you for you guys in Coinstore for taking lead on this. This is adding value to many people who are not yet aware. Unfortunately, because it is a source of capital, income, money, whenever you put money, it becomes a potential source of greed. Many people will potentially muddle the waters and just confuse everyone. And I think it's not adding value. I think what's important is we stay laser focused on education. And
so we will have a project to be announced with you guys on Coinstore Exchange. We're still working on the few details, but watch this space. So make sure we follow all the Instagram, the Twitter, YouTube of Coinstore Exchange. But also they can also have a look at mhrc.io. It's called the Maha Roller Club. And this is truly the beginning of something, especially for a ultra luxury company going into the Web3 space.
Thank you so much. I would like to say maraming salamat. I'm in the business of education. Our students are everywhere in the world. My learning management system is actually based in a website. And thank you very much, Coinstore.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, and good night, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.